All right. Well, I hope this is actually audio recording. Um, Welcome back to 3M at Wasatch Fitness Academy. Accessed at your house, wherever you happen to be. We're going to do a 3M Restore class this evening, or whatever time of day it is for you. And my name is Courtney. And we're going to get started in a seated position. But before we get started, go ahead and find some kind of a blanket or a pillow or couch cushion, something that you can use as a prop to support you throughout the practice. Whatever you got. And then you sit up on that. You can bring the hips forward a little bit, make it a little easier to sit up tall. And we're just going to start by dropping in to where we're at right now. So go ahead and just take a look around wherever you're at, take in what it looks like, any sounds you hear, any smells you might smell. Just orienting ourselves to where we are right now. And all right. Just drop in. And we'll start to shift our attention to the body. Just noticing where we're making contact with the floor, parts of the feet, sit bones, wherever they're making contact with the floor, whatever you're sitting on. And the hands can rest in the lap or on the knees, doesn't matter. But just notice the sensation of your hands somewhere on your body. You can close the eyes or soften the gaze, just finding a spot to rest the eyes softly. And this just beginning grounding practice of noticing our surroundings and checking in with how our body is connected to the ground can be a really nice thing to come back to throughout the day. And then notice the breath. Notice if it's shallow or deep. I'm not trying to change it yet or deepen it, just seeing how it is today. This automatic process keeps us alive, just drawing your attention there. Maybe for the first time today. Notice where you might feel the breath. Maybe as it rises and falls in the chest or belly. Maybe in the back of the throat. Or maybe at the nostrils, in and out. Bringing a cool and then warm sensation there. On your next breath cycle, Just notice how long the inhale and exhale are. Maybe 2 or 3 counts. And then on your next exhale, add a count. So continuing to inhale at your regular 2 or 3, then extending the exhale to 3 or 4. And then on your next exhale, maybe adding an additional count, lengthening the exhale to 4 or 5. Extending the exhale can activate the parasympathetic nervous system and encourage our bodies into this relaxed, safe feeling and functioning of our nervous system. Allow the breath to return to its natural rhythm. And bring the hands together in front of the heart, thumbs against the sternum, chest towards the thumbs. If you'd like, you can set an intention for your practice. Maybe just staying with the breath. Maybe being kind to yourself when your attention wanders. Just bringing a non-judgmental attitude to where you're at today. And you can let the hands go. You can keep the eyes closed or open throughout the practice. It's your practice, so whatever works best for you, helps you get what you need out of this practice. You can listen to my voice and modify, change, vary, whatever works for you. We're just going to start by bringing some movement into the torso. Just imagining this rib area moving over the bowl of the pelvis. Reverse your circles, just bringing a curious attitude to what's going on in the torso. Noticing any sticking points, areas of tightness, discomfort. Without trying to change those, just noticing how they feel and where you feel them. You bring the hands alongside the body, stretch the fingertips out as far as they'll go away from the hips, and grow tall through the crown of the head. Not rigid in our posture here, but lengthened and active. And then inhale the left arm up and over, walk the right hand away from the body. Inhale, grow tall, both hands up, and exhale, opposite side. Just moving laterally through the spine now, inhaling to rise, exhaling to fold. Not going for any specific depth here, just finding some flow, finding some fluidity. And on your next inhale, reaching the arms up towards the sky, letting the shoulders drop away from the ears. Inhale to grow tall. And exhale, 8 counts, hands all the way back towards the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And find the hands on top of the knees. Tuck the chin, tuck the tail, round back, you can lean back. And then inhale, bring the chest forward, using the arms to actively pull the heart forward. Maybe the gaze comes up towards the ceiling. And then exhale to fold back. Tuck the chin, roll back. Inhale, coming forward. Exhale, tuck. One more like that. Go ahead and remove anything that you might be sitting on. Find yourself in a kneeling position, so toes tucked. I'm just going to start to open up the bottoms of the feet. And so you can stay all the way lifted here, or if this is a little bit too intense and a little bit less, you can bring the hands down to the ground. Or you can even use the hands to press a little bit more weight into the back, to the feet. Continue to breathe in and out through the nose. Whenever you're done, you can come out. If that's before I cue it. Bring the hands down, untuck the toes, paddle them out a couple times. Leave the feet, tops of the feet flat on the ground, and bring the hips back over the feet. Working, opening the front of the feet. You can stay here, or you can bring the hands alongside or in back of you, and you can lift the knees. Now, if this brings any sharp pain into the knees, back off, don't do it. But if this feels good, explore to a depth that feels balancing for you. Bring the knees back down. Come on to hands and knees, knees under hips, wrists under shoulders. Just rock a few times, back and forth, into the hip. Notice if anything's going on in the glute. And tuck the toes again, bringing most of the weight back into the back body. And go ahead and start to, we're going to open up the wrists a little bit so you can play with the direction of the fingers, maybe walking them back towards the body. Again, only putting as much weight and load into them as feels good for you. You can sit back more on the heels if you want a little bit less. Back to the hands. And then bringing the hands back under the shoulders, checking in, making sure the belly's not dropped. Looking for a neutral spine here, gaze a couple inches above the hands. And just feel strong here. Notice the body, notice the arms, not locking the elbows out, but feeling strong through the arms. And we're going to move through very slow cat-cow. So let the belly drop, mid-back, chest, gaze comes up, pausing, and then exhale, start to tuck the tail, middle back, upper back, tuck the chin, and pause at the bottom, full exhale. Move through a couple of these at your own pace. Just really taking the time to fully articulate the spine, not miss any parts here, best as you can. And then find neutral spine again. This time we're going to drop the belly down. And we're going to make some circles, kind of this lateral cat-cow. So dropping through, moving over towards the left and back up towards the right. Continuing to length the breath and doing whatever feels good with the neck. Reverse the direction. And then find a little bit of stillness there. I'm going to extend the right leg back. Tucking the toe, just getting a little bit of stretch maybe in the calf. Feel super strong through the back leg. And inhale the toes up, couple inches. Just holding here. Inhale, left arm long. Bring the left hand down, bring the right leg out. Bring the side of the foot down to the ground. Just opening through the inner thigh here. And you can play with the location of the leg in the hip socket. Just make sure that you move the whole leg together, not just the ankle. And you can play with the location of the hips too. Maybe sitting back a little bit feels better, bringing the hips a little bit forward. Making sure not to lock the right knee out, keeping a gentle micro bend there. Maybe bringing a couple of gentle circles through the hips. Just subtle movement here. And inhale the right leg back up and bring it back and down. Bring the knees as wide as the mat, toes come together, press back in the child's pose. And you're letting the head come all the way down to the ground, to the hands, or you have a block or your blanket. And just settling in, letting the shoulders relax, hips relax. Roll back up into tabletop, moving blankets across, you had them down. And then find the knees under the hips, wrists under shoulders. You can always come to knuckles if that feels better on the wrists. And we'll move into the other side. Just inhale the left leg long. Again, maybe pulsing back, finding a bit of a stretch in your calf. And then inhale, lift the left toes. See if you can keep the body more or less in the same position, not moving all the way over to the right, but keeping some weight into the left hand as well. Find a little bit of activation through the core here, low belly, knitting the ribs towards the hips. And inhale the right arm long. Continue to breathe. Breathing in and out through the nose. Right hand comes down, left foot comes all the way out to the side. And then the foot comes down to the ground, moving through the same thing you did on the other side, but not expecting the side to feel the same. So coming at this side with a beginner's mind. My left side is definitely tighter, inner thigh. Just keeping that information for your records. And finding that gentle movement, maybe bringing the toes up again. You come up on the fingertips. Just notice what the body needs. Maybe some inner thigh, maybe some back of the leg. We'll be doing a little bit more hamstring opening, back of the leg opening later. And just imagining that whole leg bone rotating in the hip socket here. Maybe finding those circles through the hip. Just subtle, noticing how even subtle movement can bring about sensation in the body. Press into the hands, lift the left foot up, and bring it back, and all the way down. Bring some movement again, side to side, into the glutes. And tuck the toes, lift the knees, just pausing here for a moment to engage the lower belly, ribs towards hips. And exhale, bend the knees deeply, coming into your downward dog. Feet can come as wide as the mat. Then you can play with the hands wherever feels good. Bend through one knee and then the other knee. Maybe rocking into the side. Just doing whatever feels good here. flowing. Maybe encouraging one heel towards the ground at a time. Maybe the heels never reach the ground, that's okay. The purpose is to balance the body, not reach a specific shape here. Then find a deep bend in the knees. Seeing if you can really let the low back go. Almost as if you're hanging upside down. Step the left foot to the middle of the mat and inhale the right foot up towards the sky. And then we're just going to move through a couple of knees. So just start to rotate through the knee. Rotating through that range of motion. Just reversing directions of the circle if you haven't already. And bring the right foot back down. And inhale left foot up. Move through some range of motion in the hip. Seeing if you can keep the pelvis mostly neutral. And just move the upper thigh bone in the socket, in the hip socket. And then bring the feet down, knees come down. You can go back into your wide-legged forward fold or keep the knees under the body. And then hands can be out, or you can let the arms relax, finding the forehead or the side of the head on the ground, and letting the backs of the hands rest. And just breathe into the space between the shoulder blades. Imagining the shoulder blades melting away from each other over the body. Notice the floor, whatever surface you might be on, its texture, temperature. And bring the hands under the shoulders and press up. I'm going to come back to a seat here. So go ahead and find a cross-legged position with the right leg on the bottom. So left leg, left foot, you can either elevate it onto your blanket or pillow that you have, keeping the foot flexed, or if it is within your range of motion and feels okay, you can stack it on top of the bottom knee. So stacking these like fire logs. You can kind of maybe move a little bit of flesh out of the way, find the sit bones. It can also help to sit up on something instead. That can help. But just exploring a couple of options, finding what works for you, because we're going to stay here for a little bit of time. So if you need to come out of it, maybe sit up on something, adjust, do whatever feels good. Then tune into sensations in the body. Notice what this feels like. We're trying to go to a sensation that brings us in a direction of balance. not something that's going to bring us towards pain or injury. So generally speaking, if you can't breathe in something, you want to back down a little bit and be a little bit gentler to the body. Maybe letting the eyes close or softening the gaze. Keeping whatever foot is on top flexed, toes towards shins. And the hands can be wherever feels supportive, either on top of the knees, towards the hips. Seeing if you can let go of any tension anywhere in the body. Maybe it's in the hip. Maybe it's in the face, just softening through the brow, jaw. Couple more breaths here. Just allowing gravity to do whatever it will. And then you can stay in this position where you can extend the bottom leg long, keeping the top foot flexed. And then you can stay lifted here. Hands could be alongside the hips or behind the body. If you like to keep the back straight and work more on stability of the low back, you can stay here. Or if you like to fold, you can start to walk the hands forward. Again, not going for any specific shape, but moving intuitively with sensation in the body. Listening when it's far enough. Come back to the breath if the mind has wandered. And start to bring the torso back up. Gently bring the top legs off. Let it come out. Bring the feet side to side a couple of times. And then bend the knees. Bring the hands behind the body. You're just going to move both knees towards the right and both towards the left. Keep the feet flexed and see if you can really move the whole leg as a single piece without breaking at the ankle. Noticing if you feel any difference between the two hips. And coming back to center. Set up on the other side. So again, maybe bringing something underneath the sit bones. Switch the bottom leg. And then stacking the left, or stacking the top on top foot on the bottom knee. If this is too much, I forgot to mention the other side, you can also extend this bottom leg throughout the whole thing. But if this is accessible, do that, or find, again, that prop that might be a little bit lower than the knee. And then settle in on this side. Know that you have plenty of time to explore, to set up in whatever way feels good. Top foot flexed. And then allow the body to unfold. Root down to the sit bones. And keep the heart open. The long spine here. Not rigid, but lifted, intentionally long. Notice how this side feels, how this hip feels, in comparison to the other one. And just imagining the body settling like snow in a snow globe. Just gently releasing. And then uncross the bottom leg. Sitting back, fully extending. Top foot stays flexed. And then again, staying lifted or slightly hinging at the hips here. You can start to fold, just going to whatever depth still feels accessible and beneficial for you. Sending each exhale into any tight, resistant areas. Not forcing, but allowing. Start to lift the torso back, gently uncross the leg. And again, bring the feet side to side a few times. We'll move through our windshield wipers again, so bending through the knees, and then bringing both knees over. Seeing if anything feels a little bit more open now. And coming back to center. Extend the legs long. Go ahead and move any flesh out of the way here. And then you can keep the legs long, slight bend in the knee instead of hyperextending here. Or you can gently bend the knees and hug the hands under, bringing the body down. Similar kind of options here, either staying lifted and long, holding at the hips and using the hands to kind of encourage the body down. This is a little bit more maybe for hamstrings, keep the legs straight. And then more of a back, holding the back lengthen. If you choose to tuck them around, maybe tucking the chin as well. This can also be hamstrings. And start to bring the hands back behind the body and open up through the heart. Maybe opening up through the biceps as well. Shining the heart forward, maybe up, maybe letting the gaze come up. Breathe into the chest. And sit back up. Come to the floor. Just bend the knees, lower the body down to the floor, wherever you want to get there. Keep your blanket or pillow handy. And just bring the knees in as close as this still feels good on the hips. Rock side to side a couple times. Bring some circles, massage the low back. And then bring one knee into each hand. And bring the knees all the way in. And then let them fall out to the side, kind of guiding them with the hands. And fall as far as they go with the arms extended and bring them back in. And then making these two circles that meet in the middle. Let the head rest against the floor. And reverse the direction. These only need to be as large as feels good on the hips. And then next time the knees are wide, just grabbing hold of them and rocking side to side. You can also grab shins, or you can grab for outside of feet or big toes. Made a happy baby. And then maybe straightening one leg at a time to any amount. You might feel good on the back of the legs. You can do both at the same time. Just exploring here, giving the body what it needs. Walking the hands back to the knees, hug the knees back into the chest. And bring the feet down to the ground, heels to the ground. Heels as close to the glutes as you can, maybe fingers touch. And then keep the head, neck neutral, eyes facing towards the ceiling, palms pressing down towards the ground. And then inhale to lift the hips, coming into a bridge. Maybe walking the shoulder blades a little bit closer together. Just finding some strength in the back of the body here. And lift up onto the toes, roll down from top all the way to the sacrum. Inhale the knees back into the chest. And then roll all the way over to your right. Knees stacking on top of each other. Right hand can rest on top of the left knee as an anchor. And then inhale the arm open. Chest open. Gaze can follow the left hand. Then you can play with the angle of this left hand. You can reach up long and reach down, just opening through the chest. Working through that shoulder mobility. Pausing anywhere that feels like a good place to pause. Three more breaths here to allow the body to open up. Either finding stillness or continuing to explore through that range of motion. Draw the arm all the way back over towards the knee. Gather up the knees. And take a couple rocks side to side. Rolling out along the back. I'm gonna turn the lights on real quick. And just keep exploring. Really massaging out here. And then draw the knees all the way over towards the left. Knees stacked and anchored. Inhale the right arm over and open. It's okay if it doesn't get to the ground. If you want, you can rest it on something. Or just let it be hovering. And then start to move through some range of motion. The shoulder, bringing the hand up, arm alongside the ear, the face. Extending it long. Elbow can be bent or straight here. Wherever the head feels best is good. Whether that's towards the right or up towards the ceiling, your call. And for the next 3 breaths, again, either finding stillness at that sticky spot, or continuing to find movement and mobility. The head back to neutral, right arm comes back to grab the knees, and rock the body, rock the sacrum. And keep the right knee, let the left leg extend long. Left leg is long and active, toes are flexed. And actively pulling the right knee in towards the body. Maybe towards the armpit. And then over towards the left, keeping the right hip down. Drop the back of the right leg and extend the right leg out towards the sky. Rotate through the ankle, pointing and flexing, making a couple of circles or figure eights. Scrunching up the toes and seeing if you can separate them. And bend through the knee. Foot comes down to the ground. And bring the other knee up. Feet come as wide as the mat. And just let the knees knock in towards each other for a moment here. Maybe you're bringing the hands to the belly or somewhere on the body or alongside you. And just pausing. Feel the ground. Feel the support against your feet, torso, back of the head. Heel toe, feet back together. Gather up the left knee. And extend the right leg long. Again, foot flexed. And keeping that hip towards the ground. Bring the left knee towards the body or the left armpit. And draw the knee towards the chest, over towards the right, just as far as you can go, keeping the left hip on the ground. Knee back towards center, grab the back of the left leg and extend the left foot up. Rolling out through the ankle again, pointing and flexing, figure eight. And then scrunching the toes and separating them. See how much space you can create between the toes.
Bend the knee. Bend both knees. Let the feet come a little bit away from the hips. And bring the bottoms of the feet together. Letting the knees splay out to the side wherever they rest. If you happen to have two pillows, you can put them under each knee. Otherwise, just, again, maybe finding hands on the body, hands on the upper thighs, or alongside you. Just gonna let the body unfold. Imagining the legs. The knees are like a book, just opening. Two more breaths here. Let's see if there's anything you can let go of. Whether that's something in the body, in the mind, your current life situation. And gently guide the knees back together. Stretch the arms long overhead. Just reaching. And bring the arms alongside the body. Opening up. Taking up as much space as you'd like, as you're able to, wherever you're at. And extend the legs long. If you have a blanket, you'd like to get cozy here. I'm going to set up for Shavasana. So get cozy, find your position that works. You can keep the legs in Supta Baddha Konasana or what we had before with the bottoms of the feet together. Maybe you want some socks on if you didn't have socks on yet. Really allow yourself to settle into the position here. Body against the floor. Maybe tucking the shoulder blades under the body. Maybe bringing the chin a little bit towards the chest. Allow the back of the neck to rest against the floor a little bit more. Let the toes splay out to the side. Maybe rocking the hips side to side a few times to settle the hips. Let the eyes close or gaze soften. And just allow yourself to surrender, be held and supported by the ground you're on.
And truly release all effort. Imagine the eyebrows separating, creating more space between them. Loosening through the upper forehead, letting the eyes sink into their sockets, softening around the eyes. Let the tongue drop away from the roof of the mouth, maybe parting the teeth. Release the jaw. Softening through the front of the neck and collarbones. Imagining the bones sinking heavy to the floor, muscles falling away from bones. Relax the upper arms, lower arms, hands. The tops of the hands sink into the earth. And find softness through the heart, belly, hips. Heavy in the upper legs, lower legs, and feet. Let go of any control of the breath, just allowing it to flow in and out like ocean waves. Bring gentle movement into just fingers and toes. Noticing these areas, transitioning from stillness to subtle movement. And start to bring circles into the wrists and ankles. Keep the eyes closed and the gaze soft. Just maintaining a sense of calm that you've cultivated. Maybe extending the arms long overhead. Good morning stretch. And then rolling onto one side. And pausing here for a moment in fetal position. And bring a hand to your heart. Just acknowledging this practice. Acknowledging this heartbeat. And gently press your way up into a comfortable seat. Maybe on a pillow or cushion. You can stay in Shavasana and go to sleep. You can bring hands to heart center. Offering gratitude to this practice. Gratitude to your body for all the things it does for you. Gratitude for the ability to take this time. Thank you for practicing with me, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or evening. Namaste.